Hey guys, welcome to Destroy All Models. My name is Ryan. Happy Baja Blast season. This stuff will keep you up at night. Anyway, this is a new reveal and review of War of the Worlds Martian. So, yeah, this is from Pegasus Hobbies, right down there. And it's a great kit. We'll get into that in a second. War of the Worlds 1953, fantastic movie, probably sci-fi movie of the decade if you ask me. I'm probably forgetting something better, maybe. Let me know in the comments. I love this movie. I grew up on Turner Classic Movies. That's obviously why I'm in a hobby like this. And I loved watching this on the television. Freaky movie, even for its time. Great effects. The remake also really liked. I know it's a bit divisive, but I think the remake really had that sort of like... It really nailed the dread. There were some goofy parts, yes, but the scary parts were scary. It was a good update. So, for 1953's movie, I mean, just watch it. It's really great. I have a poster on my wall behind the camera there, and I hope to get more of this line from Pegasus. They've done the Martian. They've done a large version of the War Machines. They're not flying saucers. People may think they are, but they are not. They are war machines that levitate on 3 invisible lasers, essentially. Basically, in the original book, they're tripods, and then remake their tripods, right? They walk on like 3 legs. But for some reason in the film they decided to go with like invisible laser legs, which was a really cool sort of subtle effect where they burned the ground underneath as they went, but the action almost burned down the set doing that effect. They had obviously these big model, scale model sets for these things to fly over, and they almost burned down the whole set with that. But love the movie. So Pegasus Hobbies has they have the War Machine I think it's about that big. And then they have a diorama set where it's 2 or 3 of the War Machines on a smaller scale on a scenic base with some army vehicles that they're basically lasering with their laser that you would put together. The great thing about this company that I like, I have not bought any of the finished kits that they do, which is what I'm getting at. They do finished versions of these kits, so you can go and buy basically on a collectible versus an actual kit that's already pre-painted and put together and everything. And it'll probably look something like this picture right here. I can't remember, I haven't seen it in person, but you can totally do that with this. So you can do it with the War Machine, you can do it with the Martian, you can do it with the diorama set. They also do stuff from the movie Relic, which maybe I'll grab that one day. It's an underrated monster creature feature from the 90s. They're in that time of like, how would you put it, urban horror. There was that weird time where you had Wishmaster and Candyman and People Under the Stairs, which Candyman and People Under the Stairs were, was a different kind of urban horror, but still set in like a Chicago type of setting, where they're in the big city and all this stuff is happening. So the Relic's kind of similar to that, but I am getting off track. So they do some stuff from Relic. They've done some... Boy, I can't remember what else they've done. They did do the remake as well. I have the Martian from the remake in a box somewhere that I have not put together. I am scared of that model because they are spindly, and we'll see why in a second. This is a little sneak peek. There he is. Why that scares me. But they do the Martian, then they do the large War Machine that's probably like that tall, as well as another diorama base similar to the 1953 version that I mentioned. Again, I think some of those might be able to find completed. I don't know if they did that line like that, but we'll look it up. Anyway, let's look at the model. We have some cool stuff to talk about as far as the choices you might need to make when building these models. We'll see you at the table. Alright guys, welcome back to the workbench, the work table, whatever you want to call it. So here's my completed model of the Martian. Took me a couple of days, not like full 24-hour days, but just a couple of days of work in between my actual job and home life to really nail this paint job down. And honestly, I'm going to try my best to walk you through kind of what I did. A lot of the steps didn't end up mattering, and you'll figure out why here in a second. So let's First of all, let's talk about building the model. Very simple kit. Let me see if I have instructions in here so I can show you. Yes, I do. Excuse the background noise. I'm going to put this box behind here because we're going to talk about some of these extra pieces in the box as well. And that unfinished little paint job you see. Alright, here's the instructions, and ooh, that's close up there. But as you can see, very simple. Arms, eyeball, top torso. So you have 2 arms options. You have the one where he's basically blocking his eyes from the flashlight in the farmhouse scene, and then one where they're down and relaxed, kind of touching the ground. Then it comes with the broken periscope eye. There's the neck for it. Some books that scatter to the ground. I think there's a no, there's no coffee mug on this one. But I mean, that's pretty much it. Really simple model. I really like this model. It's made of a rubber, almost like a rubberized plastic. Very thick. You can see the pore is really thick. It comes in this orange color that you see here. So I kind of mixed the arms up, so I went with partially blocking with one kind of down. I like that dynamic thing. Always got to go in the middle, right? Can't just choose one or the other. So for painting this, what I did was I based it white. For painted white, you can still see some of the primer on the bottom here. And then I picked out some of these major veins in a purple, thinking that when I did get the orange color on, and I don't remember the colors for this, they're all Vallejo, I believe. So I was thinking when I did that the purple would show through, and it kind of did, but it was super washed out, and then, or not super washed out, but super subdued because of that. See, I did some veining there. On the arms here, I picked some stuff out, but it was super subdued, so I went back with the color and redid it, and then when I did the wash, the detail wash, which is all this dark color, which was a sepia from, I believe I did the Vallejo sepia as well for that. It dulled down the purple. I think it's getting, I mentioned this in my first video with the Independence Day ship. I didn't clear coat the base colors before doing the wash, which means that sometimes there's a chance that I could have actually just taken some of this paint off, which is why it was dull. So I went back through and redid it, which I actually like this better. I like the bold color on the veins that really make it pop. For the face, that's a clear plastic piece of plastic. So I painted the coloring from behind, so I could maintain sort of the slickness of the eyeballs there. And then I just painted the purple over it, and you can see, or not the purple, the orange over it, and you can see if you look closely that like there's some over paint in the cracks here. I tried to get it down in there with a Q-tip and get some of that out, but it's there. Whatever. That's why he's blocking his face, because he's so ugly. I think it's designed like that because you can actually drill up into the head there and put a lighting kit if you want, because his eyes do light up in the film. I'm not going to do that because that's hand painted. So when you backlight that, you'll see every stroke of paint in there. It'll look awful. So I'm not going to do that. So yeah, I love this model. Fantastic. Very proud of the paint job in the end. I think it looks good. Hard to find reference. A lot of references in black and white if you can find it. And I think people are divided on how it's really colored. Some of them do more of a brown, things like that. But I like the orange with the purple, so I went with that. I could have been a little bit lighter on some of the sepia, I think, but whatever. So what's in the box, right? Like, what's going on here? Sometimes when you build a model, you gotta make a choice. You have to look at this kit and say, okay, this is cool, right? Like, it comes with the farmhouse floor base from the scene, you know, where he touches the one girl. And you can see there's a little peg hole there. Come on. Yeah, I don't know why I'm bothering to do this, but there, okay. Knocking everything down. Alright, anyway. Cool, right? This takes up a lot of real estate on the shelf, right? Like, shelf space is at a premium, especially if you live in the city. I live in a suburb, so it's not that big of a deal, but I do kind of don't want to take up all my shelf with a big flat circle. So, I used to be a bit of a completionist with this. Like, I like the idea of the diorama base. I think it's neat. I think it adds more to the figure. But honestly, when I finish this, I can just put that anywhere. I could put that next to Batman. He fits on the shelf, whatever. I don't need to clear a lot of space on the shelf to do it. I can fit him in any crevice I want. But if I have the base, then I have to figure that out, right? So I decided not to do the base. On top of the fact that I honestly I was like aimlessly kind of painting this, and I'm not happy with the color. It's not done, but I was bored of doing this. I think this is actually Tamiya acrylic, which is a bit different than regular acrylic. And I was basically wiping the black off of there so I could put yellow down. Excuse me for the logo, but it's not that big of a deal. I might come back to it eventually just to paint it up if I'm bored, but I don't really need to worry about it. Got the extra arms in here, so technically if I didn't glue it, I could just switch them out, but I didn't bother with that. And then this is the broken periscope eyeball thing, so that'll be a fun paint job one day when I'm bored, on a rainy day when I don't want to touch all the stack of kits that I have behind me. But yeah, so sometimes you have to make that choice. Like, what do I want to do with this model? Do I really want to paint everything? Do I need it? No. Like, I bought the model because I want the creature. I want the alien. I didn't really necessarily need the base. It was a cool thing. And this isn't a criticism of the This isn't really a criticism of the company. I don't want Pegasus to stop doing that because those bases are cool. And some things need those bases. The 2003 or 2005 movie, the most recent remake of this by Spielberg, that alien's going to need that base, because earlier I said I was scared of building it because, as you can see, this is a soft, semi-soft, like flexible rubber. Those aliens are very spindly. They have two arms that are kind of similar to this, two really long arms that they stand on, plus one back leg, and there's no way that it's going to be able to hold the weight. It might have a clear acrylic rod that it sits on. I don't know, but that's kind of scares me. Also, that paint job is going to be a bit more subtle. There's like some subtle striping and stuff, so I'm kind of intimidated by that kit right now. But we'll get to it eventually. So anyway, yeah, sometimes you have to make these choices. What details do I want to include on this model? Did I have another plan for this model? Sometimes I buy these kits. I'm not going to turn the camera and make it shake. Oh, I just shaked it anyway. If you ever notice in my wider shots on this side of the screen that I'm pointing, where you see Godzilla's double chins over there, there's another Godzilla kit next to it. I have two versions of that kit. I have the original and then this remaster. I actually bought them because I want to do a diorama that's not going to include all the pieces of the kit. So that's going to happen. And then things like bringing up my Independence Day ship that kind of started this channel. I really cheaped out on just spray painting the base, whatever, because I think I might actually do a wall-mounted base that has it flying by a canyon wall or something. So sometimes you don't need every piece. You don't need the base. You do whatever you want. Don't be intimidated by all this extra stuff. Just focus on the goal, which is cool monsters and cool aliens. All right. Anyway, I could ramble on and on and on and on, but I think we'll call it here. So, again, love this kit. I recommend you pick it up. It was probably like 30 or 40 bucks. Still available. I got this at Hobbytown. So yeah, thanks for joining Destroy All Models. Almost said monsters. And have yourself a good day. We'll see you next time.